Nowadays, when you want reverb on your snare or your vocals or whatever it is, you're most likely to be on a computer and you just dial in the reverb or put it in as a plug-in or whatever it is you want to do. I've got GarageBand here with the snare drum. I've just got the side stick sound. And there it is with a bit of reverb, and I've just put the slider up saying reverb. And of course you can adjust everything now, reverb time, density and EQ and all of that stuff. Now, what happened before this then, before we had computers? Well, we had things like this. This is the Roland Depth 3. Now this is a digital reverb from the 1980s, about 1987-ish. And yeah, it sounds great. It's got a sound of its own, but of course you have to plug it into things like mixing desks using the jacks and various switches to set operating levels and all of that sort of thing. It's even got a block diagram here and a lot of dust because it's been in my rack. Now, what happened before this then? Well, we had, in big studios, you'd have a separate room in which there was a plate reverb. You might have 3 plates in your studio. So you've got a massive sheet of metal with a transducer in the middle which impulses the sound into the plate, and then 2 transducers that pick it up, so you get your left and right, your nice sort of stereo plate. Of course, a plate was really heavy. It had to be in a room all of its own, no external noises from anywhere else, so it was a real battle to try and get just basic reverb on your track. Now today I've got this. I'm going to show you this. This is the AKG BX20E. It's a stereo spring reverb dating from roughly 1970, although it was in development before that, and it's just fabulous. So here we are with the panel of the AKG BX20E. We've got inputs and outputs. We've got a switch that decides whether you have stereo input or mono input, and there's a remote control as well. I haven't got this at the moment. The guy I got this off, he's posting it to me at the moment, but it does actually not very much at all. It's just reverb time. There's no other adjustment at all on it. Yeah, no EQ, no nothing. It's stereo spring. What you hear is what the machine does, and that's it. Now, if we just open the door here, I mean, this looks like a sort of drinks cabinet. It's 3 little screws here that hold the door shut. So here we've got the 2 preamps. So we've got left and right, basically the reverb amplifiers, both input and output. So left card and right card, or whichever way round it is. We've got the power supply down here, and then we've got this, which is where the springs are, and they're held in this sort of suspension. So when you transport something like this, bits of bubble wrap or towels or something in there just to stop the thing from moving about. You've got to be very careful with all this stuff because spares are really hard to come by. The transformers on here, they are susceptible apparently to going wrong, and yet once again they're quite difficult to get as well. But this reverb works absolutely fine. So let's have a listen. So I've got the AKG Spring Reverb wired into my mixing desk. I've got an auxiliary output of the desk that goes into the reverb, and then 2 cables out of the reverb for stereo, back into the mixing desk, and then to computer. So I'm recording this demo to computer. I've got just the one mic here. I've just got the Coles 4038. This other one is for my vocal narration. So I've just got the Coles 4038 over the kit, nothing else. So it's mono. Let's see if we can make this kit sound a little bit bigger with the reverb, which will start to appear as you listen to the rhythm. So it's making it sound pretty large, and actually you only need a little bit. It's very, very easy to overuse reverb to make it sort of suddenly envelop the whole mix, and you get this sort of rather sort of undesirable effect, of this sort of washing effect of all of this stuff sort of bouncing about. We want to maintain the minimal things of that drum kit. So next up, let's try some guitar. Here I am then with the Vox AC30 with my Telecaster. I've got the Coles mic in front of it. Now this amp does have built-in reverb, so, and you can hear that it's quite a small tank. But it's always nice to have reverb built into an amplifier. Now if I just turn that down, I'm going to play some more things, but you will hear the spring reverb coming in, just like you did just now with the drum, so it'll just gradually be introduced. So it's very nice. It's just that stereo spring again that really does just make this sound much, much bigger. Wonder what it does to vocals. Here's the Coles 4038 again, this time doing my vocals. I've got a pop shield in front of it, never ever blow into a ribbon microphone because it won't work anymore. And I'm going to sing and you'll hear the reverb sort of begin to kick in as before. I woke up this morning and I heard some stereo sounds in the form of two springs, one on the left, one on the right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, enough silliness. It sounds pretty good with a spoken voice as well, just a little bit. So if I just do my "This is London" from the BBC, and you can introduce some reverb really quite subtly into the mix, and it just gives it a nice stereo edge if you're listening on headphones. So there we go, the AKG BX20E. It sounds fantastic on anything. It's big, it's bulky, it's expensive, but it just gives you something that really modern emulations just simply don't give you.